Hello and welcome to Logistic Talks. In today's session, I'm going to have the pleasure to have a conversation together with Niels Finger. Niels is a professor at the CBS University in Cologne in Germany, where we are this week. And this university proposes a module on logistics. So we're going to talk about Gen Z, his students. We're going to find out what it is that they're learning about logistics and what their motivations are.
Yeah, hello, my name is Niels Finger and I'm a professor for supply chain management at the CBS International Business School here in Cologne.
Niels, thank you very much for being with us today at Logistic Talks. And I'm really excited because we're going to talk about logistics, as we always do, yet from a different angle. Niels, you're a professor at the CBS University and you teach logistics.
No.
Look, when preparing this session, everybody was asking me, but who are they, these students? So let me ask you right there, who are they?
The logistics students.
Yes.
It differs, right? I mean, again, we have people coming in and saying, hey, I want to have a dual study program in logistics management. I want to commit to that industry. I love it. And I want to have DHL, whoever, as a partner, and they know it, right? They're very confident.
Good.
Then we have a lot of other, let's say, groups. Yeah, I mean, I see there's a bit of anxiety around commitment. So we see that more general management study programs are more favorable, where they just get an overview first and then maybe in a master degree, deep dive into logistics supply chain. That's an avenue that we see. So we have a skyrocketing demand of people, digital, sustainable, whatever, logistics context, trained people. On the other side, there's a drop in interest in the younger generation and in some areas. Yeah, and our mission as a CBS, or also my mission, is to overcome this to a certain degree. So the image is still there, right? I mean, those people that you push, for example, we've been here with students in the Innovation Center, and I precisely took international business students who have not yet chosen a major in supply chain management. So I pushed them here and they were all excited. They all said, wow, this is what I want. Sustainability, digitization, globalization. I want to try it out, right? And that's really a great area where I think universities can help with this talent shortage to actually get people or inspire students to also look into the very interesting industry. And I think I can extremely well sell this because I've been around, I know what it's about, and I really know how multifaceted and how cool the jobs are in this industry.
So you see this drop in motivation for logistics?
As I said, it differs. So there's still a solid group of students who want to come, or we recently launched a new global supply chain management master degree. So there's a lot of people coming and applying for that. So it's still there. But overall, at least stagnating or decreasing over the last years, I would say. Yeah, and we're really pushing hard to overcome this, and our enrollment figures are still fine. But again, it's not connected to the demand out there, right? I mean, we have so many. I mean, I get so many job offers for my students they can pick from. It's crazy.
Yeah. So tell me, for those who get the real motivation for logistics, what are the kind of jobs that they fancy? Do they want to become the logistic manager of Apple? Do they want to work for a DHL, a Schenker, a DSV?
Yeah.
What is it that they want to do?
Well, it differs, right? We have a lot of students who have, for example, taking next generation on their parents' business, where they see their logistics supply chain related challenges. So that's their motivation to actually get in and improve their family business. Big names still count, I must admit. So big companies like DHL or Apple are still very much in focus from the younger generation. Although I often must admit, sorry to say this here, but sometimes for certain people, an SME or smaller companies is much better fit maybe from a culture perspective. So we also support those because they also have this similar experience of demand. And again, from a position perspective, right, I mean, from warehouse management positions to data scientists to also all the support functions, HR in logistics, finance in logistics, controlling. So we see all sorts of interests. So difficult to overgeneralize, I would say.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah. And tell me, from your standpoint, what are the 2 or 3 things that you want to make sure they know when they finish the module?
Well, I mean, Our philosophy is, first of all, the T-shaped model, so that we say, okay, you need to have deep dive knowledge on transport optimizations, pick buy systems or whatever, but also must understand left and right what's happening. So what the sales guys do, what the finance team does in your company and so on, that we have this possibility to integrate and to work well internally and externally with customers or suppliers. And then we push forward a lot the soft skills part. So that starts from communication, developing business case to your board, presenting well, convincing people, leading people, project process management. So kind of the old topics which are still important. A big topic, obviously, in the ongoing transformations is change management, resistance to change, how to overcome it. So these are things that we highly believe are important to success. And that's what we push.
Good. Niels, tell me a little bit more about this new generation of students. What are their expectations towards their future employers?
Well, I guess you experienced it as well. I mean, the expectations are higher and they differ substantially from maybe our generation's expectations. No, I'm not too far away from them from an age perspective, but in terms of generation, I see a big change. So I mean, all sorts of different things, right? A purposeful, meaningful job. Be empowered to change something, to apply the knowledge that they maybe gain, even though it's maybe little. They still want to apply that early on in student jobs and so on. Then on the other side, curiosity and or abilities to get trained, to get developed. That's something that I see. What else? They change jobs more often, I would say, than previously. We see that they value independence, personal values. What I also observe in my talks with the students and with the HR guys is that old values are back. So like security, safety stuff, they see this, the uncertainties and stuff. So, I mean, if you look at the studies, they also face unprecedented economic, sustainable, social crises, right? And they really suffer from this from a psychological perspective. So I can understand that they maybe try to find a bit of safety, security in their jobs, a bit of stability here and there.
Would you say that working from home plays a role as well?
Yeah, it's a hygiene factor, I would say. Remote work policies, they push it as far as, can I work from South Africa tomorrow because my aunt lives there, which is maybe for an internship a bit over the top. But there's a self-understanding, and why not? I mean, if it's from a legal and whatever IT safety perspective possible, and I see a lot of companies trying to respond to that. But the balance is important. So they also value the office work. I mean, many of them have started their first work experience in Corona times, completely starting a new job, getting to know colleagues via online video conference settings and so on. So they still see that, but they want to have the balance and the flexibility. So I think flexibility is also a big important topic for them.
Yeah, thank you for this. Niels, in all the different topics that you teach them, what really gets them very excited?
Tech, I would say, really. I mean, especially, we are a business school and the connection to tech. So I'm not developing coders, but I'm trying to give them the weapons and to get a sufficient understanding of a technology, apply it, implement it well. So that's really what they are very curious about. And obviously, showcases like here in this innovation center. I think they still talk about this when we visited here last semester. So
that's very cool.
No.
Good. You mentioned about sustainability.
Yeah.
Does this trigger a lot of interest from your students?
Yeah, absolute. I mean, we have people who come in and, for example, they enroll for specialization in sustainable management and they're fully on it. But that's still not all. I mean, I see an increase in interest, but still, I think we cannot overgeneralize and there's a big diversity. Right, I'm pushing forward a lot with sustainable logistics, and I see sometimes that I'm actually pushing too hard, maybe because from a mindset perspective, there's still also people who are not so super fancy or motivated in looking into that. But overall, we see that's coming, and we also see that that's our responsibility as a university to insert this into all the lectures, into the education, because also we have a time gap, right? We develop a program, they study 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. Then they graduate and then they go to the companies.
What other advices would you give a logistic company to attract talents?
Well, first of all, develop a strategy, understand where you are, define targets, and then get there with clear actions and try and see if they work. Like with customers, it's good to talk to them. So define the target groups, listen to them, do co-creation, be inventive, don't rest on your laurels, because it's also something that is fastly developing. Just take, for example, perks, or special offers. There's so many new cool things that you can do as an employer. I mean, we all know that the fruit basket is not enough anymore, but mobility solutions, gym memberships, time off for charity work. So that's all stuff that's resonating quite well with the students or younger graduates. And it's not really costly. Sometimes even tax subsidized in many countries. So it's something you could look at,
Good. Tell me something, when you look at your students and they finish their modules, are they ready for the real world of logistics?
Yes and no. I mean, we enforce with these dual study programs or mandatory internships that they get their hands dirty, that they learn and smell and taste the world out there. And that's, I think, very important. So completely only theory-related graduation is difficult to actually become also successful. But then again, I mean, we're also fostering this habit of lifelong learning, which has been around for long, but it's now more important than ever. So I cannot tell them which technology will change their work environment in 5 to 10, 15 years' time, but building the habit as a business person to actually get into a new technology, curiosity, try it out, knowing the tools and processes, prototyping, and so on, to actually be successful, and never resting on your laurels. I think this is a very important ingredient that we put into our curricula, and I think that's a good habit if you follow that. Maybe come back. We also have students that are coming back for trainings or alumni events, bring in problems and let us, the students, work on these challenges, which we really like, which we call business projects. So that's how we believe they are successful.
Great. Hey, Niels, again, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have you with us today, and again to give us sort of another perspective, another angle on the logistic world. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Eric.
And I hope to see you. My pleasure. Thank you very much.